All right, so that's almost sort of the demo of knowledge and how your customer support reps can work with it. Kind of what the high level life cycle is, sort of the why we do it. And now I'm going to step into kind of the configuration and how did we get there? How did all that stuff come together? Because it can seem pretty simple when you step through something really fast like that. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. So basically, I write up articles about things that questions that come in a lot, and I can go in like Google and search for them, and attach them to my communications, and all of a sudden we've kind of professionalized our communications with our customers. Simple and easy. There's a little bit that goes into it. If you really want to carry this off correctly, some of it's just kind of nuts and bolts of getting it turned on. But when you start to think about how important knowledge is in the grand scheme of things, in terms of being able to onboard people, deliver standard responses, deliver high-level customer service all the time, there's a little bit more that goes into managing that. And so you can see here, this is sort of a high-level process for configuring knowledge that we're going to walk through. So, number one, you have to enable it. You've got to make it, you have what's called feature licenses. When you bought Service Cloud, you bought knowledge with it, and you can actually go in and turn it on for the different folks that need to be engaged in the management of these articles. You don't need to turn it on necessarily for your CSRs, just so that they can use it, but they need to have a feature license to be able to be part of the management of knowledge. Talk about creating article types. We talked a little bit about what types are for. We'll get into a little bit more detail there. I've enabled Salesforce knowledge twice. The second time around, we're actually going to enable it for specific users. We're going to create a knowledge manager profile, and that's really when I show you the knowledge manager profile. This is really about controlling how people access and manage the information. I'm going to show you how to create data categories and manage them. That's a really important, that controlling that taxonomy, the way that people think about and categorize the information within the organization is really critical to being able to, if you want to have high deflection rates, people have to find the information within your FAQ that you have publicly available. If you want your internal resources to use things, you've got to categorize it so they can find it easily, so that it becomes something that's a help to them in doing their job, not something that they're asked to do because it helps you provide more standard responses. Finally, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of these things are a little bit more advanced concepts around Salesforce administration, but I think they're really important to understand. So we're going to talk a little bit about page layouts and how knowledge is affected by page layouts. I'm going to show you how to add tabs to an app. And then we're going to go in and actually configure the knowledge engine itself, set data visibility of data categories, and then enable feed tracking, which is what we just looked at there. So that's kind of the high level of what we're going to step through. And we're going to start by turning on knowledge for a particular user. So let's jump back into here. And so anytime that you're doing sort of back-end configuration, if you look on your screen, up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Setup. And this is where all the configuration takes place. And so because all of the configuration takes place, if you look over here on the left, you'll see that there are a lot of things here. This is intimidating, but we have a very simple way to navigate this that I'm going to show you. So if I were to expand all, you would see that those lists become even more intimidating. Now there's just an enormous amount of information here, and it can be really hard to work with. Even though what we're looking for right now is right here, the way to navigate and get around in setup is to use the search bar and just to type in, the first couple lines of what you're looking for. So if I type in this case, profile, the profile comes right up, and I can easily navigate to it. So you can see here, though, what I'm actually doing is I'm going to turn on this feature license for knowledge for a specific user. So we're going to go to users, and we're going to turn on knowledge for somebody. Well, let's pretend that you hadn't already been enabled as a knowledge user. This is your feature license. This is what allows you to be part of the knowledge management effort itself. So you just want to make sure that that's checked. Then once you save it, everything is real time. So as soon as it's saved, that person's added into